Welcome to Living Chassidus. Together, let's live the Chassidus we learn.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Chassidus in the morning. 15 minutes to change our lives. Pashas Mishpatim, Chalak Aleph, finishing it off. This Shiur and this whole week's Shiur has been very generously sponsored by the Wood Eisenbergs, the Lun Shmas Chaim Al Shalom Ben Shimon Yisrael Halevi Shechia. Mr. Hashem, all that learning that we've been doing and all the intaking of the learning should make a big impact on our lives and everyone's lives. And also in honor of Reuven Elio Hakoyen Ben Tzvi Hersh Al Shalom should have an aliyah neshama, and all our learning should help that aliyah of the neshama. Yimet Hashem. Just close this, and there we go. Okay. So let's finish up this part of the Sikha, this ket of the Sikha. Basically, we're discussing about these different levels of nefesh b'hamis and different ways that the nefesh l'kis gets lost and we're not taking care of ourselves. And we talked about we don't have Jewish pride, and even though we should look at ourselves above and beyond, we are amazing. We are chelkel coming on mamish. But what happens? We get caught up and we ask ourselves, what do the neighbors think? And this is the sheep mentality. And really, we should be the ones that are affecting the people around us. That's one of the many discussions we've been having this past week for rains. Yeah. Ches. Behemshech HaPasuk, in the continuation of the Pasuk, Nema, Psak Din, the Eitza, Shiur. So it says in the end of in the continuation of the pasuk that what do you do? Remember, going back from the beginning of the pasuk, we said that the pasuk it says I'll call davar pesha, I'll call aveda sheyoyma ki hu zeh, that anything gets lost and you say that's what it is. I didn't do anything wrong, and we had this whole discussion. What do you do? Adalikim yavaya davar shneim. You go to the judge. Alikim, you go to the judge, and he will judge it. And if you count that you're mistaken, you're false, you have to pay shnaim. So now we're going to discuss what does that mean, the last bit. So the solution to the negligence by a watchman in regards as an outcome of the ox, the donkey, the clothing, or the sheep, is Adal Halikim. You go to Likim, you go to the judge, Daino, the judge. Yavai Dava Shneim, that should come to both of them. Dava Hamusav ala Dayan Harishin. And so this is going based off the first judge. Who's the first judge? It's Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu was the first judge. And not just Moshe Rabbeinu, Moshe was especially the Moshe Chol Dor. And in continuation of this idea, in a spiritual sense, it's the Moshe of every generation. That he gives us the ability to do tshuva. That you have to pay back. So what happens in one second? Let me just pause this 1 second. Let's fix this. So what do you do? So in the passage when it says talks that you go to the judge, meaning you go to Moshe. So the spiritual sense, when you have a Veda, when you didn't take care of your nefesh l'kis, is not being, and you're just treating it not nicely. And you have to go work, you have to transform it. So what happens? Where do you go? Who's the one that's going to help you? It's the Moshe. It's the judge. Moshe is the judge, but he's not, in this sense, not the judge. He's going to get you in trouble. He's going to help you do tshuva and realize that you got to pay back. It's not that you come and you say, okay, what do I need to do? But it's meaning I don't want to do it, but I got to do it. But you come and you realize, hey, I've made a mistake. I got to change my ways, and that's the tshuva. And so how do I change it? I have to pay back for what I've done wrong, and how I can fix it. I have to pay back from nefesh l'kis. Shalem loy bekaflaim mikfi livnei achet. You have to pay back twice from what it was from the sin. Higher arguably crazy daf echad yikash neidavim, like it says in the Gesed Tshuva, brought down from says here, what I'm from Safe Practice. Yeah, the Shemesh Rabbah. Basically, what you do is, it says, and this brings down in Gesed Tshuva, that if a person at a high level of tshuva, if like a way to do tshuva is before you learned one page, you learn 2 pages, you double it, you put in meaning, that put in extra effort. And so to here, we're saying that the key to the success in all these issues that we're talking about is having a connection to the Nasi Adar, having a connection to the Rebbe. And if you don't have the connection, so you don't have this opportunity, this ability, and this Jewish pride, you could say that that for sure, Lubavitch and Chabad has around the world, one of the things they've managed to instill is this Jewish pride, and managed to do is this idea. And he's saying, this issue that you have, and you have and ultimately all the issues that you come with the Nefesh Bahamis, the way to overcome these issues in the Bahamis, by connecting to the Rebbe, learning the Chassidus, and giving you the opportunity to do tshuva. And then when you return back, you do the tshuva. Not just you do tshuva, like we said here, that you give al pishnayim. You learn 1 daf, you learn 2 daf, meaning putting the extra effort, then Hashem gives you back midah k'neged midah. That the various, that the negative things become positive. And even Nefesh Bahamis itself will help. What's a beautiful part I'm saying here is that you transform yourself. That even though in the beginning of the Sikha, you're learning like, I'm a bad person, I have all these issues, got to work on them. I should be much greater than this. And this is what we try to tell ourselves in the middle of the Sikha, I'm much greater than this, and it's too past. It's not befitting of me to do such a thing. But ultimately, the way you're looking at the situation is not a good. We're not in a good place. But in the end of this Sikha, we're saying now is when you do the tshuva, when you figure out where it's going wrong and work on it, and with the help of the Rebbe and the help of Chassidus, what happens? Hashem pays you back, that He transforms, that all those things that were the problem become part of the solution, which is pretty wild. But that's what it is. And in our lives, a lot of times, like they say about in marriage, the best thing for Manashun talks, it says this, and this is not just. This is like a general cloud that the best thing for a marriage is a good fight. What does that mean, a good fight? It doesn't mean we should go fighting and arguing and screaming at each other. That's not what it means. But a fight in the healthy sense is a disagreement, misunderstanding. And what you do is, if you learn how to communicate properly, you discuss it. And one person talks about what they feel, and another person understands, another spouse understands, and the other spouse talks and they understand. And through that understanding, you get to a much deeper level. We understand each other on a much deeper level than we understood before. And this is what we're saying, that we get transformed, that even though that but we're disagreeing, but it's not. But ultimately, this disagreement brings that to a deeper level of connection. And so we were saying that unfortunately, even though when we have these issues, we might have these problems with Nefesh Bahamis, and it's taking us away. But when we do tshuva, we can Hashem helps us transform it. So it not just becomes a negative, but it becomes even a positive thing now. But derech pride specifically, mina nefesh bahamis, shevachin Shiur, specifically with this Shiur nefesh bahamis, the ox, they take that ox, which is the one that's goring, which is a person that's rough, or you have an ox is a goring ox is not a good thing, but what you can have from that ox, on the positive spin of it, is the ox, the power of the ox has a lot of plowing. Meaning, if you try to plow a field and you put the yoke on yourself and try to plow, what would happen? You barely about to finish one time and you'd be done. Whereas on the ox, many times you can keep going back and forth, and just keep on walking that field. And so too with us, that we might be our nefesh bahamis might be like an ox, and we're rough and we're coarse. But if we learn how to use the nefesh bahamis in the right way, and we transform ourselves in the right tshuva and the connection with the Rebbe, so then it can push us in the right direction and achieve more. The chamor, and we have the chamor, we said about the donkey before, that he's very cruel, he's very cold. So how do we transform it? What happens when we transform it? Yisach chamor garam, avodah shekabalas el, chamor lamasa. Like it says that a donkey to a lord and it's kabalas el. That before we said that chamor is cold and is apathetic. But then then you take that cold and apathy that's normally used in negative, but used in a positive. That is called an apathetic to anything that's not kedusha. I don't care. I'm doing it. but it doesn't make sense. You're tired. I'm going to finish learning. I'm going to make sure I get up on time. Oh, but you're tired. You went to bed late. I don't care. I'm going to get up on time. I'm going to dive. I'm going to make sure to listen to the shiur. I'm going to, take care of myself. I'm going to be organized. And you have, by hook or by crook, that's the Kabbalah soul of the Chamer. Miseh, positive soul. And the Seh, which was the sheet that we said we spread out, which said that it's all over the place and we're lost and it's not a good thing. So we transform it like Abab Nemar. Ta'isi Kaseh Oved. I made a mistake like a sheep that was lost. It itself has no help. Bakash Avdecha. That it will cause, that will be drawn after. That will cause that it's lost, and we're going to find ourselves. We want to come back to Hashem, and even though on one hand we get lost, but it also has on the positive that we realize we're lost and we realize we need to get back. So we're going to be drawn after you. To go just like we got lost. We got lost and it didn't make any sense. Like, where are you going? Why are you running off? Why are you not taking care of yourself? To the extent, like we said before, that you got totally confused. But then when you push yourself in the derech tshuva and you work on it and you come closer, then you get l'mayil tamadas and you push yourself above and beyond. Before we said you're embarrassed. Like one example we used about the says that it's embarrassed of his Judaism and you don't want to portray it away. But here you become the most proud person. You walk in the street with yam tzitzis, or you wear your skirts, and you walk and you make yourself recognizable that you're a frum lady. Misalman from the clothing garments, you transform it, that the smell of your garments like the smell of cedar, which is meant to be a beautiful thing, and meaning you transform yourself that even the garments, that's the type of neshama you have, that it's not good, become transformed to beautiful. You're a beautiful type of personality. Klalus pirusha shel davaru, and the general explanation is shegam hanefesh bahamis, that even the nefesh bahamis, which is the one that sort of caused the problem in the first place, Mesaita la'avodas havaya, helps you to serve Hashem. Kamar Razal, like the rabbi say, love Hashem your God with all your heart, with two inclinations. So what we're saying here is, and the general rule that we're bringing out from this sikha is we got to learn first. We got to learn which is our nefesh bahamis and what's our nefesh lakis, when one is talking, when the other one is talking. That's the Rosh of Ruba. That's the beginning of everything. Without that knowledge, you can't go further. So you start to learn when my nefesh bahamis is talking, when my nefesh lakis is talking, when I want to daven, when I want to learn. When my nefesh bahamis is talking, when I don't want to daven, I don't want to learn, I want to do the other things. I don't want to take care of myself. And it could be nefesh bahamis is even when it comes to taking care of yourself, or why I'm taking care of yourself, no intrinsic value. No, not because I want to have a better day that I can connect to Hashem more. Just I want to take care of myself so I feel good and it looks good, and that's it. That's all nefesh bahamis. And what we want to do is to realize that and say, 1 second, but I need to take care of my nefesh lakis. My job in nefesh bahamis is to help my nefesh lakis. So how do I help myself be a nice person? My nefesh lakis, is calling someone, say, how you doing? I haven't spoken to him forever. How are you feeling? It's being kind and caring and all these things. And so we start to analyze ourselves. We realize who's speaking. If the nefesh bahamis, the nefesh lakis. And if the nefesh bahamis, I have to realize that I can take the power of nefesh bahamis, it's all transforming. And I do tshuva, because when I realize, that will make me realize, hey, 1 second, I'm not doing the right thing. So I need to tshuva from that. I need to try to veer it in the right path. But when we do veer it and we get into the right path, we need to use it, not just we sort of go back from the negative to like parv, but it's transformative. And the way to and like that's what we said in the sikha, that Hashem committed midam, and we do the tshuva, that causes you to transform it. And all these nefesh bahamis issues become actually the solution, and recognizing the things. It's not about suppressing it. It's like hayom yom, not suppressing it, but it's about transforming it. And this is what Mitzvah Hashem about to do. And part of the way to do that is having the connection with the Rebbe and learning the Chassidus and applying it and thinking about it. Mitzvah Hashem, by all of us, should have an amazing Shabbos. And thank you very much for joining.